Hello, I'm Krafty Leeny. Welcome to Wicked Wreath Friday, where I make horror wreaths all on a budget. Let's get wicked. Shall we begin?
Who are you?
Explorers in the further regions of experience, demons to some, angels to others.
It was a mistake! I didn't
For this wreath, I'm going to be using this HELLRAISER metal sign that I found on Temu. I love that the colors are very vibrant. Their signs usually are. And I like that they already have the 4 holes on each corner. I am looking at the focal points of the box and of Pinhead, the character. I will also be using one of these little Halloween doll heads I found at my supermarket, but you can find these also at Walmart. I love that the eyes glow blue. I got this hook from Amazon. It is a Halloween decor, and it already has the rusty look, and I really don't have to do much to it. I will list what I am using in my description box for you also. 2 latex gloves. I found these at the Dollar Tree. Any kind of liquid makeup or brown paint, preferably a color of skin color peach. Some nails, the tiny Pinhead nails, picture nails. I got those also at Walmart. 2, they're fake faux cigarettes I found at Party City in the costume areas. One of these little skeleton rats I found at Walmart. And a piece of wood. You can use the wood from Dollar Tree or these planks from Walmart. I'm using chopsticks, or you can use dowels also. And my favorite piece, the HELLRAISER box. I found this also on Temu. It's actually a desk weight where you can put it on a desk or a shelf, but it is so beautiful. In person, it just, breathtaking. But we are going to use it on our wreath. I can't wait. Beautiful. Now to prepare our wreath, I'm using an 18-inch grapevine wreath I purchased at Walmart. And we're going to spray paint it with some of this Krylon Fusion. It's black matte paint, spray paint. And I'm just going to do the sides, the inside. I do not paint the back. I just do the sides, the inside, and all around. But I do not do the back. You don't have to. It's up to you. It's up to you what you want, your preference. If you want it real dark, then do about 2-3 coats. But if you want it just a little bit of a mist of the black, you only do 1 coat. It's totally up to you how you want it to look. To prepare our little doll head, to turn it into Pinhead, I'm just going to use one of these painter markers that I get at Walmart. And I'm just going to make lines on the head and around the cheeks, from ear to ear. It does not have to be straight or perfect. And if you can tell I went a little off, that's fine, because we can fix that along the way. And don't worry about the back, because we're not going to see the back. I keep looking at the sign just so I have kind of a reference of what I'm wanting him to look like. So I'm also doing the lips black with the marker pen, painter's pen. That's him so far. So now I'm going to use Apple Barrel acrylic paint, the bright red, and I just painted the inside of the mouth. I was trying to decide what blues to use, and I decided to use Folk Art, this really nice icy blue, and I just kind of dry brushed around where the eye sockets were, where they were already kind of black the way the doll head came. So I just kind of used that for a guide of where I wanted to put most of that dry brushing of the blue color. I then proceed to go on the side of his eye and his cheeks and around his ears, different spots on his head, neck. I didn't want him to be completely this color, so I was kind of dry brushing. So it's just like a faint color of that icy blue. When you look at Pinhead, he isn't a complete white or cream color. He does have a slight tint of that blue. So now I'm going to do the rest of the head. Now after I was done, with the blue, I got some more of that acrylic red paint. It's a red. And I'm just going to put right where it meets each box. In each of the corners, I'm putting a dot of the red, and then I'm just going to dry brush going down the lines. I kind of want it to look like he was, we know the story of Hellraisers. So I kind of wanted it to look like the carvings were wounds. So to soften that red up, I got a little bit of cashew chalk paint mixed with a little bit of the Folk Art white sealant paint, and I would just dip and dry brush just slightly over the whole head, and that helped lighten the wounds up so it doesn't look so vibrant, because we do want it to just be in the background. While it's drying and it is still a little damp, I got this glove and I just wiped it, and then I went over it one more time, and that's what it's so far looking like. Love it. I went over the lips again with my black painter's pen, just so the inside is red but the lips are black more, and that's all I did. I got my heat gun, heated the head up just so it softens it, so it's a little bit easier to place the little pinhead nails. And you just place them on each little red dot. Be careful when you do this. And as you're it does soften the head, so it sinks in a little as you're pushing them in, but once you get it and adjust it and you pull them back out a little bit, it pulls it right back out. And then when the head hardens, all those nails are going to stay in place. So there should be no need to glue them. Once you get the hang of it, it goes really quick. And there you have it, my little Pinhead. So now we all know Pinhead wears black. So I'm just going to get a little bit of this foam sheet. And I just got maybe an inch strip that I cut. And I'm just going to glue it around his neck. The challenge of this video was to do something in your favorite Halloween movie. And I know it's not Halloween, but it is one of ours that we watch, my family. And this happens to be a request. I'm going to say it, a request from my handsome devil, my husband. He's been asking for me to make him a HELLRAISER Wreath forever for his office. Yep, he's taking it to work for his office. And I thought, okay, no excuse. Let's do a horror movie, our Halloween movie we watch during Halloween season. We love it, and this is what we're making. He's really happy about it. Tell me if you're a HELLRAISER's fan, or what is your favorite Halloween movie? Now, to close the collar up, I just crisscrossed them, glued them. It doesn't have to look pretty because you're not going to see the back. But look at this. I thought he turned out cute. I'm going to add some hot glue to the back of the head and a pipe cleaner. I then add a piece of duct tape right there on top of the glue and the pipe cleaner and press down firmly. It helps keep it in place. It won't come off. It adheres it easier to the head. And I can put it on our wreath now. If you didn't put any pipe cleaners and you did do the back of the head really nice, hey, it would be really cute on a shelf, right? Now for the two gloves, we're just going to cut where the wrist part is. We cut that band off. And then we proceed by cutting the little fingers off. Sounds terrible, doesn't it? But there we go. We're cutting the thumb off also. And we're going to take it apart. So we have one full sheet of the latex. We do it to both gloves. I then continue to spray the makeup inside a Ziploc bag, and I put the glove pieces in there, the latex. I don't know. They're plastic gloves. I keep saying latex, but they're the hypoallergenic ones where they're not latex, they're just the plastic ones, but it holds that makeup really nice and looks like skin. We're going to let that dry, and now we're getting our chopsticks, and we're just going to cut them. We got the little box, the HELLRAISER box, and my handsome devil drilled 4 holes. He removed that little tab and drilled the 4 holes to fit perfectly with these little chopsticks. You can use dowels if you like, or chopsticks. And I just cut them all evenly. And then I put the smaller end, the thinner end inside the holes with some hot glue, and then I just tap on it. And it kind of makes it sure it goes in there, and sticks where it's not going to come out. And there we have that. It's going to slide perfectly into our wreath. Now moving along, we got that wooden plate. Well, I'm using the piece of wood from the Dollar Tree, but you can also use those planks from Walmart. Don't forget to paint your sides. I'm using black acrylic paint. It's very important to do your sides so you have a full finished look. And then I go in a tapping motion on top of the black paint with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Cashew. And I just keep dabbing it. And then I just start kind of smearing it with the dry brushing motion because I want to blend it in. And I do it to the other side too. And you just keep doing this until your eyes are smiling and you're happy with what it's looking like. You can do it on a plain black if you want it, or a white background. It's totally up to you when you paint your sign. I wanted this sign to kind of match there's like this edge looking like on the metal sign, and I was trying to copy that so it matched it and kind of blends in. I wanted the wreath to all blend in together. So on that side of the metal sign, I kind of wanted that to look alike. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm going to get some of that brown paint, and it's just regular brown paint. It's acrylic paint, and I'm just dabbing that too in this dry brush motion. And you see me keep just working with it. I just keep working with it until my eyes were smiling and I was happy with it. You just keep adding layers and layers and different, you tap it in a dabbing motion, and then you smear it, and use all dry brushing. Don't try to use a lot of paint. It's mainly all dry brushing. Just very little goes a long way on your brush, especially with the black color. Just go very lightly. Now I'm going to use my painter's markers, and I'm going to use this red one for HELLRAISER. That's what I'm writing. I do not have the best writing. Don't worry about how you write. It is yours. This is what you're making. Smile when you make it, because I know it's going to come out wonderful. If you're not comfortable doing it this way, you can always get letters from the Dollar Tree and paint them. Or if you have a Cricut, you can cut them out. So now I'm going to get this white chalk paint marker, and I'm just going to write what I want here. And it's not very dark. I just want it for an outline, because for this I will be using my acrylic paint. So now you see me going over what I had wrote, and I'm just going to do it with my acrylic paint now and paint over it with a brush. It has a little fine tip to it. I then glued 2 nails onto the sign, crisscrossed them, added some more glue on top, and added a piece of the skin that we made. And I'm just kind of pinching it in there and squishing it just so it looks imperfect, like it's just torn and is on those nails. I added some red paint to the skin, especially on the edges, and then I dab it with a dry cloth. I put a little bit on the nails also. Now I'm going to be using this toy hammer, and I'm going to paint the handle of it with the brown paint, acrylic paint, and then I go over it about 2 times. I did 2 coats. It's always important to let your first coat dry completely and then add a second coat. I also do the head of the hammer, and I do that a silver, a metallic silver. Such a cute little hammer. In the movie, this I thought represented Julia and Uncle Frank, how they would go up into the attic and, do their thing with a hammer. Those poor victims. What a movie, right? Clive Barker surely had an imagination. I use a little bit of acrylic black paint right there in this middle, just to give that for the hammer, the teeth. was really happy with the way it turned out. So now I'm doing, my little rat, and I'm just going to push this nail straight through. Please be careful doing this because the nails are sharp, and we're just going to push it right through to the other side of the rat. Yep, in the movie, they show rats with nails. I add a lot of hot glue to the tip of that nail just so it's not sharp, and it gives it a nice bunt. Now that I have everything ready, let's place it on our wreath. I like to look at the wreath and see what side I would use for the bottom and for the top. But before we add anything, I like to share. This video is part of Shadowing Some Halloween Fun, hosted by So Kate and myself, Wicked Wreaths. You can find the links to the playlist and to the hosts in my description box. Have fun and happy crafting. Now to add our sign to our wreath, we're going to get these 4 corners and we're going to add some pipe cleaners. I get these at the Dollar Tree. All you do is push them through those holes, twist tightly, and push them to the side like catty corner. I like to catty corner them and kind of put them to the back a little. And we do that to all 4 corners. Now we're just going to get those pipe cleaners and we're going to push them through the back of the grapevine wreath. Sometimes they go in real easy, and sometimes I use my little needle noses just to kind of pull the pipe cleaners through. Makes it easier to grab them through there. And then we just pull tightly and twist. Now to add our pinhead, we do the same thing with the pipe cleaners. We just push them on through to the back of the grapevine wreath and twist tightly. Easy as that. You can shorten the pipe cleaners by clipping them and then tuck them in, or you can just get the whole thing and tuck it into the grapevine. I then add a little bit of glue behind his collar and press it against the wreath. He's not going anywhere. Now for the rat, we're just going to add some hot glue to the rat and to the nail, and we're just going to push it straight through those sticks on the wreath. And I put a little bit on the tail and place it where I want it to stay. Now it's time to add Julia's hammer to the wreath. I add hot glue to the back of the hammer and place it onto the wreath in a slanted way. I proceed by adding the 2 fake cigarettes on there, and that represents Julia and Uncle Frank because they were always smoking cigarettes, it seemed like to me. And that was kind of their pleasure, right? Well, part of their pleasure. We know, right? You get it. I know you get me. You get this. Now to add our HELLRAISER puzzle box, all we do is add a lot of hot glue. I did add a lot. I was very generous with the hot glue onto the dowels and to the back of the cube, and then just pressed it through the wreath. And then I'm getting some more of our skin that we made, and I'm just gluing it straight to the wreath, and I'm tucking it underneath any which way. No certain way of doing it. And I'm just pushing it right against the wreath underneath the box. And then once it was in place and I was happy, my eyes were smiling with it, I added some more acrylic paint. to the edges, and I just put it where the creases were, and then I just started dry brushing here and there onto the skin. I am using the color Red Oxide from the Dollar Tree, their acrylic paint. I also added it to the hammer. I added 2 pipe cleaners to each side of the bottom of the sign, and I added 1 more to basically the middle of the sign. And we push the pipe cleaners through and twist, and that's how we added our sign, just like we added the other sign. I did hammer a nail through the corner of my sign, and I'm just going to hot glue this little hook ring to that nail. Well, my wicked lovelies, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. Please leave me a ghosty emoji in the comment section. I do hold it in place to where I want it to stay, just to make sure it doesn't come off and move anywhere. Once I was happy with it, my eyes were smiling, I added more glue to a corner to add my chains, just so I know they're not moving anywhere, that they're gonna lay exactly where I want them. I also glued my hook to the wreath. See how it's laying? And now it's time to add our skin. I put a little hole in there, push it on through, and then I'm going to add some more hot glue to the wreath and to the hook, and I'm going to again kind of pinch the skin. You see what I'm doing? I know you do. You just pinch it to the hook and to the wreath and move it around, so then it kind of looks exactly like what we want the skin look. You know Pinhead, how he says he's gonna tear the skin and all that stuff. So that's my vision, is in the movie, and you see a lot of that, right? And then you see at the end, when I don't want to spoil the movie if you haven't seen it, but if you know what I'm talking about, if you have the hook with the skin at the, towards the end. I'm not saying what it is, but you know what happens. So that's my vision of this part, what I'm doing right here. Yeah, I'm sharing a little movie with you, but here's our final look. I hope you enjoyed this. Oh, look at this wreath. So happy with it. I did add some nails on the side, and I did add some more red paint to the wreath and to the nails also. Well, I hope you enjoyed what I made for you today, my wicked lovelies. Please give this video a big thumbs up. I so appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And subscribe. Don't forget to click that notification bell and pick all, so you're notified every time there's a new wicked wreath for you. You can join me every first and third Friday of every month. It was my pleasure getting wicked with you. Be kind yourself and others. I'll see you in my next video.